you put a puppy in. Imagine you put a puppy in a tiny little dog crate for 70% of the day. Puppies need to run around, and they put them in these tiny little desks. They get it. When we were young, we had 2 recesses, and then we had an hour for lunch. They're getting like no recess sometimes, and then their lunch is like half an hour to eat and half an hour to play. And then on Saturday, I'll see my youngest boy, 11, with his kid. They will destroy the house, destroy outside, make up 7 games, but on the trampoline, fucking making jumps, and it's a good 10 hours of like what you and I would consider sprinting.
Yeah.
And I go, you put these things in a little fucking box to do what? To draw? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. The same way, like I was, born in early 90s, 91. And so like the first huge wave of putting kids on like Ritalin was happening when I was in grade school. Shout out to my parents for not allowing, like I had a teacher in like 2nd grade be like, Taylor's really kind of energetic, and he won't stop talking during class.
Imagine this is a smart guy, Gavin.
Bees. Yeah, you'd have been.
You put this guy on amphetamines, he could have went far.
I could have been something.
He could have been something.
We'd be saluting you or like buying something with your name on it. A little.
Instead,
Adderall
you tell dick jokes on a podcast.
That's fair. That's true. Maybe they were wrong.
Way to make money. That's pretty smart.
Drugged me up. But I remember that. Like there was a friend of mine who still a close friend of mine, actually listens to this show sometimes, and he had such little appetite from being a grade schooler on meth that like he didn't grow as big as he could have. And I think he fueled me into becoming bigger because he would get in trouble, scolded by his mom if he would come home with food in his lunchbox. And so for like a solid, I think all of 2nd and 3rd grade, I ate 2 lunches every single day. I'd be like, what's on the docket today, bud? And then he'd take out his salami sandwich.
He keeps getting skinnier, so his lunches keep getting bigger and fattier.
Oh yeah, I was cooking. My body was cooking in the age of what, 8 and 9.
What they do up in Westchester where I live? They'll say to the parent, "Your kid's doing pretty badly. We're gonna have to fail him, and he's not gonna move forward." And they go, "Oh fuck, what can we do about this?" Well, he's very fidgety in class. I think he might have attention deficit disorder, which we all have. And so they go, okay, if you can get that diagnosed, then I can't punish him because that's a disease. And they go, okay, great, I'll do it. So they go get a child psychologist. He says, yes, he has ADHD, whatever. And then they go, oh, he has ADHD. He needs Ritalin or Adderall. And because he has a disease, you need to take the medication for the disease. So you've just extorted this woman and forced her to make her son into a speed addict. It's amphetamine sulfate. It's meth. And you made a kid do meth because you're such a lazy cunt teacher that you want your kids to be high because you'll get better grades because they're fucking beaming. That's what they do with homework.
They've got that blitzkrieg energy.
Homework isn't in the real world. People don't bring work home, like maybe 3 times a year, but your dad doesn't like unfold his briefcase after dinner and start working on that budget report. He did that at work. So you're doing extra work because she didn't do her job. Now they're making the kids do speed. They're making them into meth heads so she'll get better test results. It's fucking child abuse. Have you done Adderall?
Oh yeah.
Like I take
in college. Yeah, a couple times.
A 5 milligram pill, like the cut one into quarters.
Yeah.
Had it at like 7 a.m. with a coffee. At like 11:30, I need half a bottle of bourbon just to get to bed.
Yeah, you need that smoothed over. I've taken I was prescribed Adderall so I can get a prescription whenever I want. That's basically how it works. And oh my God, it's great. And small doses of it are like energy and motivation personified.
Oh my God.
I know somebody who takes, I think our boy Dirt takes either 40 or 60 milligrams a day.
Holy fuck.
So like if he ran out of pills, he could like die.
No, I think he just wants some more.
And the withdrawals are pretty bad, I heard. I did it on Joe Rogan's podcast. I had just a quarter and like 4 beers. So I'm like relaxed and a genius. And Rogan was like, I have a new best friend. So he invited me to like a MMA fight. I got front row seats. And then when he was in New York, he invited me to the green room at I forget the name of the place. It's on the upper East Side.
The Comedy Cellar.
It's a tiny green room, like it's the size of my office here. And so we're almost like facing each other in a bathroom, basically. And I'm not on Adderall. And I'm just like me. So I'm like, I had a fart earlier and I was like, I thought it was a shit. But I don't know what wiping it wasn't. It was just like, I guess my ass was sweaty. And he's like, what is this? You're my genius friend.
I thought you were always going to be on point, dude.
Yeah, you lied. I didn't lie. I'm a friend. Look, I'm strong.
Look, I got tattoos just like you, Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Look at this. Upside down guy. And then
Adderall is
you
so
should
much
not be
energy.
giving it to kids.
I know the Nazis were on amphetamines throughout a lot of the Blitzkrieg, and it makes sense. Like it's perfect for to just be able to work for days on end while eating very little
and everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just your if you're doing a job like sighting, if you're looking for the enemy or something, being able to stay awake and focused. You know, when you haven't eaten breakfast and maybe you walk 20 miles that day, pop that pill and you're fucking the best you can be. That's why it's in Air Force pilots like go back. Like they've got amphetamines in there. When you crash, you're gonna pop some amphetamines, put your P226 on and go.
We probably learned something from World War II. I bet we meth our guys up a little bit.
In World War II did. Yeah. We had it in the flight bags as well.
Oh, really?
It's
if you want to get rid of 6 million people, like it takes a planning and you got to stay awake and you got to really.
We did the math. They have to be going around the clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hitler, the rest of the war is going so poorly. If you could, look at a bigger picture here instead of just train schedules nonstop.
Don't get me wrong. They are running on time. That's great.
No, do not let him see the video, everyone, of him at the Olympics. He will not like the response.
Yeah, Adolf, I'm not criticizing. Don't get me wrong. But this...
Yeah,
you're telegraphing a little too much, my friend.
He looked like he was having a blast, though, right? Like that might be the happiest we ever saw him. I've seen that one video where he's at like the eagle's nest or whatever it's called, and he's got his German Shepherd and his ladies there, and maybe Goering or somebody or Goebbels comes up and they're chatting and looking almost human, and it's like, hey, that's a good day too. But that day at the Olympics, I think that's his
best
day.
race I ever saw.
Yes, other than ours, of course. You know
who was there? Louis Firpini? No, the guy who wrote the book Unbroken that Angelina Jolie made into a shitty movie. It's a really great book though, and he was this. I think it's the best book I ever read. He was like a bad kid, Louis Zamperini, and he was like a bad kid that got into trouble and he got shot down in World War II. And so he was in a raft for like 40 days. He started a war with sharks because some sharks jumped onto his raft and he's like, we had a deal. I won't fuck with you. You don't fuck with me. You just fuck with me. So then he started luring baby sharks and eating them. And then he got attacked by a bigger shark. He manages to get to some island in Japan. They catch him. He's a prisoner of war. He gets tortured in there by this guy they called the Bird, who was on 60 Minutes. They found him. And the Bird was like, yeah, we just did what we had to do. I'm the bad guy? Yeah, you tortured men to death. That's bad.
Yeah.
And it's such an incredible story. And he remembers Hitler fucking checking him out as he was running.
Damn. Hitler just needed a guy behind him to be like, you're doing it again.
He needed a flask. You're bobbing too much. You need a few shots of Jagermeister or something to take the edge off, dude. You're freaking everyone out.
Was he like wasn't Hitler like one of the like a teetotaler with alcohol? Like he didn't drink, but one of those guys who's like, oh, alcohol, I will never touch this stuff. Where's my meth boy? Like, and it's like you're this is a circuitous route.
It was like custom concoctions that he was getting injected with. Like there was like multiple stimulants in there and vitamins. I'm sure I'm sure whoever was injecting him, that doctor didn't think it was poison. He thought this was like the Uber health serum or something.
I was picturing pills. I didn't know he was getting shot up.
Oh,
Did you know? Did you know at that Olympics too? The guy who gives him the injection, his friend said, "Did you give Adolf his 3 milliliters?" And he goes, 3 milliliters? I thought you said 30. And he went, oh, fuck. And then they look up in the stands and they see him like popping away. He got fired after that.
He got fired.
He was
fired for giving me the most fun day ever.
If Adderall makes people thrive in school and in productivity and organize their Spotify playlists or whatever it makes them do, why does meth ruin people? Like
it's true. Oh, it's just a matter of how much. I mean, Adderall is metered out in small doses. No one does like a little lick of meth. They do like this much, and then they're awake for 22 days. But
see, there's lots of people who just do meth and they don't ruin their lives though. Like you mentioned how like strippers and porn stars do meth. Like they're all functioning meth.
They're winners.
Users. I mean, there's some people. I mean, you know, they're getting the job done. She's on that pole every night.
Coming over in
Those girls
20
make $8,000 a week.
Maddie Odell, we do this show on Thursday nights. That's why I got to go soon. Where it's called Cops and Robber on censored.tv. And we watch cop videos with cops. And then we have Maddie as the felon. And Maddie's got a bad ticker. So he'll just have a little bit of mass, just a little dip, and it'll help him stay up and be sharp. And he's been doing meth for like decades. Lemmy from Motorhead, he would, I know a band that went on tour with them. He'd have a dinner plate full of speed and like a pile of speed, this much speed. And he would lick his switchblade and then he would dip it onto the powder just a little bit. And then he would lick the knife. Yeah. And he lived to like 77. I don't know how old he was, but he was fucking old.
That's a long time to live, licking drugs off a knife. That is a pretty cool way to get fucked up.
I saw a documentary about it, and his son was in the documentary, and his son said he died at 70. His son said his son said that Lemmy said to him, "Son, I want you to know that drugs kill, and I've lost a lot of friends to heroin, and it's a deadly drug that will ruin your life. Even well before you die, it will have destroyed everything around you. But if you are going to do drugs, do speed. You won't die."
Yeah, it's a productive drug. Well, I guess in the world compared to heroin, like nobody's getting anything done on heroin.
You need your television taken apart real quick? Well, you're in luck, sir.
Yeah. But like you're right about the meth being the amounts, because I thought for the longest time that meth, like that something about smoking it actually destroyed your teeth. But apparently that's not even true. Like their teeth fall apart because they're just awake with the driest mouth in the world for days on end, not brushing, not doing anything, but, you know, taking apart and putting together ham radios incorrectly. Like, that's all I can imagine they're doing.
Well,
and not eating or drinking.
Fucking kegs of alcohol, like Coke and speed. I mean, I've done plenty of both, but without booze, there'd be no fun. I had this trainer once who would just do Coke. He didn't like alcohol, and he would go to these clubs. He was ripped. And he'd go to these clubs like, and girls would hit on him because he was so muscular. And he would just go, "Give me your number." So they would write their names and their phone numbers and hand it to him. And then he called them the next day when he could speak. But otherwise, he was just weak. It's no fun.
Did you find Coke addictive? Like, I mean, it sounds like a dumb question, but no, you didn't have a pull towards it.
No, I've seen guys get addicted. And I saw one guy die, Harold Hunter from Kids, that skater kid, the black kid. I think he OD'd. He had a heart attack or something. And I guess old dudes like John Entwistle and John Peel, I think when you hear someone dies at like 3 a.m. on a Friday night and you're like, yeah, I think I know what caused your heart attack. But
I haven't tried Coke, but I've read about it. And I've heard that people are kind of underwhelmed. Like it's not this, oh my God, this is the dragon that you've been warning me about. And it's really just kind of a mild happiness.
Well, if you were in really great shape and you had a good breakfast and, you know, you got a raise that day or something, and your wife was madly in love with you and she was trying to blow you. And you're like, not now. I got to get to work, to my fun job. That's kind of like what it is. It's not like acid where the walls are breathing and there's a little Ewok comes in and tells you to go fuck yourself. This is and just so if you're at a bar and you're getting sloppy and you're tired and you don't feel like socializing, you can instantly have that fit guy just had a big breakfast. And then you're like, "Hi, everyone."
Okay.
But it's not good when you get old, especially now with fentanyl. I mean, it's Russian roulette.
Right.
That's true. That would
Yeah.
be scary. Yeah, I like
And
acid
even
though.
these guys have these test kits, but the thing I don't get about the test kit is you're assuming that the fentanyl is 100% consistent throughout 100% of this cocaine you have.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not know there's a little chunk over there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There is no way to know.
I always took the test kits to be for drinks, like someone who spiked your drink. And then in that
No, you can do
situation,
pills,
it might
too.
be, well, like,
You can
Sure, it would be.
you know.
Yeah,
There'll
no,
be
this is specifically fentanyl test kits for cocaine.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you can take your drugs to
Here I
a
am, I
place
didn't know.
outside the club in many cases, and
I
they'll
mean, I'm not
test
gonna
your
say it,
drugs, give them back.
So I guess I never really thought about how few people you hear dying from cocaine. Like it's usually heroin. Wait, John Candy. Did John Candy die from?
I think he was
Not
doing
John
both.
Candy. Fucking the other
Chris
one.
Farley.
Chris Farley.
Belushi?
Yeah.
Oh,
Chris Farley. I think
Belushi, Farley. I think they were all
died
doing
from
what do you call it with coke and heroin together?
heroin. An 8-ball? Speedball.
Speedballs, yeah.
Yeah.
Because heroin relaxes you so much that your lungs forget to breathe and you suffocate. Cocaine just makes you annoying.
Oh yeah, dude. I would rather be around a bunch of drunk people sober than a bunch of coked out people sober, because it's so fucking obnoxious. They all are like getting along too well, coming up with business ideas and like making like guaranteed promises to each other that like, we're doing this, man. Oh, I know. Oh yeah. Don't you think that this is just us talking shit right now? Dude, brother, who are you talking to right now?
We're opening
Like doing that kind of shit. And you're just sitting there like, oh, no one wants a competitor to Uber, but it's an ice cream trucks.
You know what else they do? They think it's louder
one guy wants that
than it is. So they talk into your ear like this, but their lips are basically touching your ear. And they're like, that girl over there with the red dress on, and she's been staring. And you're like, dude, get out of my ear hole.
Yeah. In order to enjoy being around someone who's on coke, you have to be like, I guess I'll do a little coke. You know, get me onto the ground floor of your fucking.
And then you guys are starting a grilled cheese restaurant.
Yeah. No thought of, is that enough on the menu? Grilled cheese, dude. We'll call it Mom's Old Style Grilled Cheese and Tomato Soup. We're gonna have 15 different kinds of grilled cheese.
Jalapenos. One will have jalapenos. It'll be spicy.
Gavin, yes, we are absolutely doing
fine.
that.
I'm calling that one. That's called the Gav.
That's called the Gav. That's called the McInnes. Oh, we can all have ones named after ourselves.
I'm looking for so long. So it's they're talking about the black and white picture just above the word green screen. What the fuck?
That's such an odd thing to do.
That's just this creator's watermark.
That would be the funniest watermark, like yourself looking fucking sleepy and out of it, badly photoshopped in. Yeah, no, Geppetto was a good man in fact and fiction, and he would never use slave
What kind of
parts.
name is Geppetto? Isn't that German?
Italian.
What?
Geppetto. Right?
It works, yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that with like
No.
Hans. See, it doesn't work.
No.
You need that sing-songy Italian thing.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the Italians just scooting on past World War II. No one mad.
Right?
Like,
Did they change sides?
Yes, they changed sides.
Yeah,
At the
they're
end.
good guys.
Yeah, dude, honestly, they should thank Japan, because think about all the goodwill Japan gave Italy through Mario and Luigi.
That's fucking true.
I don't know why they didn't think about that.
Why didn't they make Mario a samurai? What were they doing?
They wanted like a fun, jovial plumber.
Italian.
Even in their mind in Japan, they're like, he must be jovial and fun. He cannot be one of us. Who are those usurious allies in the war? They are always so funny.
Usurious allies. Yeah, they were pretty awful at like everything in the war. They immediately lost, and then they scooped Mussolini up and did him dirty. Like there's pictures of Mussolini. He's like hung from piano wire or something. His face is all shot off, and he's been like, everybody in the village has taken a turn doing something awful to Mussolini.
Dude, the
shit out of him.
There's never been a more for sure bad guy headquarters than Mussolini's. Like, I guarantee Hitler would show up and he'd be like, little heavy-handed,
Have you seen the Reichstag? It's very nice. Everyone agrees.
Did you see my place? It's kind of like a normal looking palace.
The eagle's nest? Look,
Did you
wonderful.
Did you notice the big, giant, scary face I put on my headquarters? No, it's because I didn't put one there.
No. Show me the one that says like C with a big, terrifying Zardoz face on the front of the building. Yeah. Zardoz is going to go right over everyone's head, and good for them.
No idea what you're talking about there. I was thinking more of what that guy's name from Legends of the Hidden Temple.
That's the same thing. Yes.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid show. Yeah, Zach, bring that one up. Yes.
There we go. There we go. Now, just for fun, show me Zardoz. Zardoz.
Is this even their headquarters? Is this a different building?
I mean,
that thing in the left is really phallic, right? Is that just me?
Clearly just a cafe.
The erection.
All right, there's the Hidden Temple.
Yeah.
Which for those that who don't know was a show where children entered a video game by some means and competed for viewers' pleasure.
The Silver Snakes. I was a Silver Snake guy.
Yeah. And there's Zardoz. See the face there? In the background. That's also Sean Connery wearing a mankini like Borat.
He looks good in it. I can tell it's him now.
He gets a lot of pussy in this movie.
He fills that thing out.
Sick. It's like post-apocalyptic, and there's like the advanced race living in this secret bubble, and like all the men are like breeders. They're all out there like savages living this crazy wildlife. And that head comes forward and just vomits weapons to them so that they just continually kill and fight always. There's a lot going on in that movie.